Hey everyone, let's get real for a second. We've all felt it. That nagging sense you're giving way more than you're getting in a relationship. You start to wonder if you're just a supporting character in someone else's story, only called in for a laugh, a loan, or a shoulder. It's tough, but recognizing when you're being valued versus used is crucial. You deserve relationships that are a two-way street, not a one-way ramp to their convenience. Today, we're cutting through the noise and diving into 6 signs you might be emotionally used. I'll be your guide, pointing out the red flags you might have missed. Let's get into it. Sign number 1. Let's talk about the "I only call when I need you" special. We all know someone like this. They're the friend who seems to disappear for weeks, maybe even months, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, your phone lights up with their name. You already know what's coming next. They only reach out when they need something. Maybe it's a favor, advice, or just someone to vent to. It's never just to check in or see how you're doing. Think about it. When does your phone buzz with their name? Is it ever just a friendly hello, or is it always a request? Is it always when they're in a jam, need advice, or want a favor? Do you find yourself bracing for the ask before you even open the message? You become their crisis manager, their go-to problem solver. But when you need support, when you're the one struggling, they're nowhere to be found. It's a one-sided dynamic that leaves you feeling drained. Their texts aren't, "How are you?" They're, "Guess what happened to me?" Or, "You won't believe what I'm dealing with." The conversation is always centered around their world, their issues, and after their crisis is over, poof. They vanish again, radio silent until the next emergency pops up. You're left wondering if you even matter to them outside of their problems. The communication is always conditional, based on their needs, never about mutual care or genuine connection. It's a transaction disguised as a friendship. Every interaction feels like a deal, not a real relationship. You're not a priority, just an option for their convenience. When it suits them, you're in their life. Otherwise, you're invisible. Healthy relationships ebb and flow, with give and take. But with an emotional user, it's always one way, and you're left carrying the weight. Scroll through your recent conversations. Are they all about their problems, their needs, their drama? Do you see a pattern where your life barely gets a mention? If so, that's a huge, glaring sign. It's time to recognize the pattern and ask yourself if this is the kind of friendship you deserve. Sign 2. Your feelings are ignored. You try to share something real, but they change the subject or hijack the conversation. Your emotional bids are met with blank stares or quick dismissals. Sometimes they even tell you you're too sensitive or overreacting. You start to self-censor, keeping your feelings to yourself because you know they won't care. The relationship becomes superficial. You're the listener, they're the talker. Empathy is missing, and your emotions are seen as a burden. You're left feeling invisible, shelving your feelings to make room for theirs. If you never feel seen or heard, it's not you. It's them choosing not to see you. That's a major red flag. Sign 3. You're always the one apologizing, even when you did nothing wrong. It's like you're stuck in a never-ending competition to see who can take the blame fastest, and somehow, you always win. You might notice that you're the first to say, "I'm sorry," even for things that aren't your fault, just to smooth things over or avoid conflict. You find yourself saying, "I'm sorry," just to keep the peace or soothe their ego. Sometimes it feels easier to apologize than to stand your ground, especially when the other person seems completely unfazed or even expects your apology as a given. They flip situations, so you end up apologizing for their mistakes. Arguments become less about resolving issues and more about you taking responsibility for things you didn't do, while they dodge any sense of fault. Emotional users avoid accountability at all costs, deflecting blame onto you. They're experts at twisting the narrative, making you question your own memory or intentions, and leaving you feeling like you're always at fault. You become the peacekeeper, apologizing for having needs or boundaries. You might even start to feel guilty for expressing your feelings, as if your emotions are an inconvenience to them. Over time, this damages your self-esteem and makes you feel like you're always the problem. The constant pressure to apologize chips away at your confidence, leaving you feeling small, unheard, and unworthy of respect. Their goal, conscious or not, is to keep you small and themselves in control. By making you the default scapegoat, they maintain the upper hand, ensuring their needs are always prioritized over yours. Think about your last disagreements. Who apologized? Was it you, even when you weren't at fault? Reflecting on these patterns can reveal a lot about the balance of power in your relationship. If it's always you, you're not in a partnership. You're cast as the villain in their story. You're left feeling isolated, misunderstood, and unfairly blamed for every problem that arises. Healthy relationships share responsibility. Emotional users make you carry it all. True partnership means both people own up to their mistakes and work together to find solutions, not just one person shouldering all the blame. Don't let them rewrite the script. You deserve to have your voice heard, your feelings respected, and your boundaries honored. Start reclaiming your narrative, one unapologetic step at a time. Sign 4. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. This is a classic move of the boundary buster. When you try to protect your own space, they twist the situation so you end up feeling like the bad guy. Instead of respecting your needs, they act hurt, disappointed, or even angry, making you question if you're being selfish for simply taking care of yourself. Boundaries are healthy, but to an emotional user, your no is a challenge. They see your limits not as a reasonable request, but as a personal rejection or an obstacle to what they want. This can make even the simplest no feel like a confrontation. You say you need time for yourself. They guilt trip or push back. They might use phrases like, "I guess I'll just be alone then," or act wounded, hoping you'll cave in and put their needs first. This emotional manipulation can be subtle or obvious, but the goal is always the same: to get you to drop your boundaries. Your self-care is seen as an inconvenience to their agenda. When you prioritize your own well-being, they may act as if you're neglecting them or being unreasonable, instead of understanding that everyone needs time to recharge. You end up justifying your no, feeling like you're on trial for protecting your own time. You might find yourself over-explaining, apologizing, or feeling anxious about how your decision will be received, even when your request is perfectly reasonable. It's exhausting, and you start saying yes just to avoid conflict. Over time, this pattern wears you down, making it harder to stand up for yourself and easier to give in, even when it's not what you want. Pay attention to how they react when you set limits. Do they respect your wishes, or do they try to make you feel bad for having them? Their reaction reveals a lot about their respect for you. Do you feel empowered, or anxious and guilty? Healthy relationships leave you feeling safe and respected when you express your needs, not ashamed or afraid. If saying no feels like preparing for battle, you're not dealing with a supportive friend. You deserve relationships where your boundaries are honored, not treated as a threat. You're dealing with someone who thinks your resources, your time, energy, and even your emotions belong to them. Remember, your boundaries are valid, and you have every right to protect them. Sign 5. You feel drained after interacting with them. This isn't normal tiredness, it's soul-level exhaustion. You go in feeling fine, leave feeling depleted. They're energy vampires, leaving you emotionally hungover. With real friends, you feel lighter and happier after hanging out. With emotional users, you dread seeing them and need recovery time after. That exhaustion is your body's warning sign. Chronic stress from these interactions leads to burnout. Start noticing who fills your cup and who empties it. If you always feel drained, the relationship is unbalanced and unhealthy. Sign 6. They rarely celebrate your successes. When you share good news, they're lukewarm or change the subject. Sometimes they even rain on your parade or make your win about their loss. Your celebration turns into their pity party, and you end up comforting them. They see your success as a threat, not a joy. Healthy friends cheer you on. Emotional users feel diminished by your shine. Over time, you stop sharing your wins because their reactions hurt more than silence. Look back. Do they lift you up or bring you down? Someone who can't be happy for you isn't a true friend. You deserve people who pop the champagne, not poke holes in the bottle. There you have it. 6 signs you're being emotionally used. Recognizing these patterns is tough, but it's the first step. Your feelings are valid, and that exhaustion isn't in your head. You can't change others, but you can change how you let them treat you. Your energy is precious. Don't let others drain it. You deserve relationships that fill your cup, not empty it. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself.